Hello, everybody! Right now it's 10:38. Apologies for a little bit of technical glitches that we have experienced, and again, due to bad internet connection, and we're now back here again. So, for those of you here live right now, I want to thank you for your time for joining us right now. It's 10:38. It's 38, right? So for those of you here joining this right now, I want to thank you for your time. And I'd like to invite you to help us to like and share this video, and welcome to Sales and Marketing Breakthrough Week Volume 3. And today's episode is very special. As usual, you normally see both of us with another speaker. Here, only we have two of us here today. So, Lawrence, would you want to tell our audience here today why is it so special?
Yes, I think Wesley, thank you so much again for doing all this with us. I think both of us has been doing this very early of MCO, and I think, like I said, I have again lost count of how many interviews we have done so far. And actually, tonight will be almost the last. It's actually the last of the volume 3.0. And that's why I said we're going to do it a little bit different. I actually shared with Wesley for the information of our audience that I want him to have an open conversation with anybody that can come and ask him anything about sales, so that he can be able to help you to answer your questions and then to guide you to where you should go after this. So I think for the last session, we are not going to we're not gonna teach you anything. We just ask us any questions, and we'll be there to assist. So I think this is how different we are before we announce some of our new series that is hopefully coming next week and above.
Yeah. All right. So once again, thank you so much for having me on this live again, Lawrence. Thank you so much for your time and dedication for the whole team as well. So I'll do a quick shout out to the My Parentis here who's behind the scene watching this right now. I want to thank you for your time, for spending your time and your continued support making this happen, reaching out to the team and all. I just want to say thank you to you. You're all hidden behind the scene, but I want to say thanks to you. And so today's Facebook Live, we're gonna have an open conversation. So we have our Steven. Steven is here. Hi, Steven. Steven is like, if there's an award for the most supportive one, Steven could be in a very strong contender. All right. So thank you so much, Steven, for joining. And for those of you who are watching this right now, I want to invite you to like and share this video so it can benefit many viewers watching this right now. And again, today's format is going to be very different. Today is going to be an open conversation just to invite all of you here in case you have any questions as pertaining to sales. More than happy to address your questions. Now, I can't guarantee I'll be able to answer all your questions. I'll just be able to help you just in case you've got any questions here throughout, again, sales journey, right? Okay, so again, any one of you here, if you have any questions, feel free to just drop your questions at the side. Yeah, so normally we will have like introduction and all, but today straight go into a Q&A. So if there's anybody here have any questions, feel free to just drop it at the side. And also not too sure, I think Lawrence, you have run some initiative over on IG. I don't know whether you have some questions or not.
Yes.
How would you prefer us to do? Yeah.
Yeah, I think before we wait for the questions, that is, we get things heated up along the way before people start coming in to ask questions. Actually, I have more questions for you, right? So how has things going so far with you, Wesley? You have been doing training as well. I heard you have doing a lot of trainings online. So how many have you done so far?
This is... Well, I don't know. I seriously don't know. How many have I done so far? Okay, let just hold on. I think I have a counted aside. Just give me a moment. How many trainings have I done so far?
Maybe you can tell me how many people that you have you done this online?
How many people? Wow, that's a very challenging question. Because I seriously have no idea. I've been running this campaign called the Sales Breakthrough Masterclass. Consistently, I've been doing for 5 times. I have ranging from 120 to 60 to 70 people. If an average of 60 people, 5 times 300 people only for Sales Breakthrough Masterclass. That's excluding the corporate trainings that I have, virtual program that I have, which I have no idea. Easily 10 sessions probably. For paid, I seriously have no idea. Okay, suddenly I don't have the notes with me. If you've asked me earlier, I could have just show you this one.
It's okay, no worries. Tonight is supposed to be ask me anything, right? So there is no preparation, no nothing. So I just want to know what how is this whole ecosystem going? So people are doing training online, people going in and out. So do
Yeah.
you think this trend will going to be continue even if MCO is going to be lifted?
I can only speak on the behalf of fellow speakers, trainers. Vaisa is here. Thank you much for joining. Oh, yeah, another fellow speaker here today. Yan is here saying hi. Yan, of course, another strong contender for our most loyal support.
Thank you,
We
Ian.
have Tan Wei Jin, of course, also picking up as also another strong contender support. And of course, we have Jana Manso is here today. This is definitely one of the winners because you're always with us with the team. Okay, I would foresee it will take some time before trainers, speakers, and coaches can do live training. Reason being so because I think despite MCO lifted, there will still be a lot of protocols and social distancing happening. I think it's not just training, speaking, but I think like mass events, business functions, conferences will take some time before resume to normal. So hence, back to the question, it has been treating very well for me, to be honest. I want to thank MCO, and again, I mean, I may sound very bad.
Sure.
MCO has made me reflect a lot on our businesses. We have managed to turn our services fully online, ranging from our learning management system, online learning platform, virtual training, virtual coaching. And if not because of MCO, we wouldn't push ourselves so aggressive. And if it's not because of that, we would have created our sales, online sales coaching program, which currently happening right now. Today's day 2. There you see, got wrinkles, train them until I also, for those of you watching, you're part of the sales coaching as well. So I'm very glad that it has turned our business fully digital. One is we are able to still run our training. Number 2, it has added new revenue streams for us. So I would say it's a good sign.
Okay, all right. That's very good. I think this is something that is going to change a lot of trainers' life, right? Not only the life of the how to say, not only the life of the participants, right? But the life also, but the life of a trainer, you know. So now it's, I think both of us have already tried. You know, speaking online, training online, and being there physically is totally a different thing. So actually, I do have a question from of somebody, a friend of mine. So actually, he of course he didn't drop me a comment, but he has been asking me this a few times. He said that you have done so many FB lives, you know. So he said that it means it's an interview, correct? So now you have done a lot of training. So he would like to ask you, are they actually learning the same as much as when you train them physically?
I'm going to give you a very biased answer though. I can't speak in behalf of other trainers and speakers. If you ask me, virtual learn more. Okay, let me tell you. Let me tell you why. Okay, live trainings we can do the icebreakers, the discussions and all, right? Especially one of the things I miss a lot is having icebreakers games to engage with people. I can feel people, right? But turning virtual, I would like to think that I can deliver and can learn more because you are able to break into 1.5 hour session, maximum 3 hour session, and you can go very hands-on. Thanks to all the Zoom functions that we have, you can do screen share, you can use Google Sheet, then you can have assignments, posting video, Facebook group. I would like to think that traditionally for me, when I do a 2 days training, I will spend like here and there, accumulate for a few hours for discussion and all, right? But now it's fully turned online, which in a way, you go straight to the strategy, to the implementation, to the practicality. I don't know, is it because of the virtual world or is it because of the lockdown world? Because when there's lockdown, right, where people are forced to learn online, when during the start of the MCO, there's a lot of motivation programs would work. Then you go to the strategy session. But now I realize, right, strategy and coaching session would work. People are already overwhelmed with so many information, right? People want to know, tell me what to do. Do I take 1? Do I take 2? Do I do 5? Or do I post this? So people needed clarity. And if you were to ask me, live workshop can give you clarity, but you sit down with me for 3-5 days, which maybe people don't have the luxury of time. But when you say, let's go virtual for the next 5 days, every day 3 hours coaching, then people are willing to do so. Because why? Sitting at home, they can respond to you. So my biased answer that I can only say on behalf of my experience, I would like to think that people actually learn more in terms of strategy. However, being said, I would foresee moving forward, blended learning is a key. Means we learn virtual, do sales coaching, virtual discussion, right? Then we meet face-to-face. Face-to-face, when you get the interaction, give that immediate feedback, maybe the way you talk, the sales, louder, softer and all, right? So as of now, we cannot go out. we are still in the virtual world, I will say the way to go is blended learning, mix both online and offline. Yeah.
I think this is very good answer of blended. Sometimes yes, it's never too good to have too much of one thing. But now it actually opens up a lot of eyes to people now that there are actually so many things that can be done online. Yeah, so
Yeah.
means not everything that needs to be done offline. So Wesley, I hope there's a Tasmini says hi. I would like you to say hello to our friend.
Hello, Tas. So to
Uh,
see you.
yeah, supposed to see you. So unfortunately, maybe internet is not so good. Everybody is using internet now. So
Yeah.
Tasmini actually has one. She is one of the backbone of my printers as well. She has been working so hard behind. She manages projects. She also speaks with clients. And Tasmini actually has a question for you, Wesley.
Yeah.
So what are the criterias of that a person need to know if they want to start a career in sales?
Okay, so thank you very much, Tasmini, for your question. And before I address to that, I want to say hi to Chon Chandi. Hello, Chon Chandi. Thank you so much for joining. All right. Okay, so the question is two answers for you. Teachable. Teachable. The person must be teachable. All right. So as a criteria, the person need to know. Number one, that you must make sure that you're teachable, which means if you want to do sales, right, never, never, never come with a mindset that I know everything. Especially in sales. If you come with a mindset that I'm the best, I can talk very well, I can say everything on earth, I don't want to learn, I think you're heading nowhere. Sales is an industry that's always growing, ever changing. Customers are ever changing, products are ever evolving, skills that we need are also ever changing. So never, never, never be a legend of your own mind. Don't think that you're the best. You're not the best in the world. There's always somebody smarter, can do it quicker, faster than us. So therefore, you need to have a mindset that's keep learning. So number one must be teachable. Number two, I would like to think that a salespeople must always be hungry. Okay, I say hungry doesn't mean the food hungry, but one of the things that I was always taught, and I always would like to think, a salesperson must always send this one thing called a burning desire. And the reason why I say burning desire, because sales is an industry where you need to constantly hit and achieve. Salespeople are movers. Salespeople are the one who get things happen. Salespeople are the action takers. So you are the ones who go and meet people, challenge the numbers, challenge status quo, hit the calls, overcome rejection, overcome objection. So you are already a person who's going against odds, which means comfort zone is things that you should be coming out from. So if you ask me, a burning desire gives you a clarity. A burning desire gives you a sense of purpose, a direction to head forward to. So normally a salespeople, if you ask me, are people always like, yes, on the go, like, come on, let's go, right? So you're always changing, you're always ever going, and you're always there out there in the market. So my answer for you, Tasmini, will be teachable and burning desire. Yeah.
I think this is some two main criteria, right? So if you want to be going into a sales career, definitely I like this part about movers. I think you said a fantastic thing about movers. So, but I'm very curious about something that you said right just now. So you must have the burning desire, right? To actually. So, what is your advice on people who may not have that desire at the beginning? So how do you actually get them excited? Is it solely based on money, commission that you should be excited, or how?
I would like to think that all of us got desires. I think the biggest challenge of salespeople is that some of us here may not think that we can achieve it due to our limitations, our negative thoughts, or even your fear or your negative experience, right? Okay, so now I want to first address to the question asked by Lawrence, and you say, how can somebody develop a sense of clarity? How can somebody develop a sense of burning desire? I think one question that I always get asked until right now from my coach and mentor, Wesley, what do you want? What's your plan 3 years from now? Simple question, profound, straight to the point. And it's very obvious when you got answer or no, right? People will be like, or you can have an answer straight in mind. It can be like what Lawrence say, I want to make my first 1 million sales. I want to close like 20 units, right? I want to travel here. I want to go there. Now, it may not only be money, which make me reflect on the next point. Now, knowing what you want, a burning desire has got to do with what you truly want from yourself and not from other people. And one concept which is very important that salespeople got to know is this concept called clarity. So what's called clarity? Clarity means you're going to know exactly sure what you want to achieve, where you want to head, and what do you want to achieve. Now, why is clarity so important? When you are clear with what you want, only then you won't be influenced or persuaded easily by other people. You don't get distracted by all these distractions that you have. When you have clarity, you have a better sense of focus, you have a better sense of direction to go. So the question is, Wesley, how can I have a sense of clarity? Now, one of the things I highly recommend us to do is to reflect on our values. So what I call values. So values I learned from NLP. Shout out to my NLP guru. So Dr. Billy, you are there, and Miss Kit One, Lin Kit One, if you're watching this. So value is to know what do we truly treasure. What are the important things that we really want in life, in our career, in our business? Now, the answer could be family, passion, travel, money. It can be things like spirituality. And ask ourselves, what are our top values in life, in business, in sales, in our general life? Is to ask ourselves, what do we think that are truly important to us? Now, this may sound cliche, but if you ask me, still one of the most powerful questions that we need to ask ourselves. The answer must come from within, and to ask ourselves, what are our top values? What do you value most in life, in business? What is the top 3 priority? What's the top 5 priority? And again, I would like to think that us being salespeople, you must know this. And again, we are the ones going to hit the calls every single day, meet people every single day. If we have no clarity, right, it is very easily for us to be influenced by distractions. So therefore, a sense of clarity, sense of purpose, and to know exactly what we want is very important. Your goal determines your performance. Never have the mindset, I will just try as best as I can, I'll see how much I earn. That is the biggest mistake that you will ever do as a salesperson. Set the goal first, then your performance will follow that. Now, the next question that a lot of people ask me, Wesley, I got goals, but I don't believe I can do it. So a lot of people know what they want. They're scared to declare, they are afraid, and they are being stopped by this one thing called a self-limiting pattern. So in layman term, right, it's as if you want to run fast. Somebody pulling you from behind using a string. No matter how fast you run, you still have a sense of resistance, right? A lot of people here, you may always think that the resistance comes from other people, but most of the time, that resistance comes from us ourselves. Now, there are 4 biggest culprits that are normally stopping salespeople from achieving your best. Number 1 is your own negative belief. So what I mean by that? So does any one of you here ever tell yourself, I'm not good enough? Other people are better than me. My English not good enough. I can't talk well. I'm not as smart as others. So all these are called self-limiting thoughts. These are called negative belief. And most of the time, negative belief, you tell yourself, not people tell you. Is what you tell yourself that, hey, you're not good enough. If you ask me, you must get rid of this negative thought. Because why? If not, you'll be always very confused. And Lawrence, and for those watching here, I'm excited to share with this one fact. There's one research called by Dr. Bruce Lipton, and I just read it. Of course, obviously, I'm not a researcher, right? And he says that 5% of the time, our behaviors are conscious. 95% of the time are unconscious, which means what? It's automatic. The way we think, the way we walk, the way we sit, our volume are most of the time unconscious, very automatic. And here's an interesting point, Lawrence. 70% of our thoughts naturally are negative. 90% of negative thoughts are repetitive. Means what? Chances are, for those of you watching, right, the reason why you're not doing what you're supposed to do are the same inner voice that you tell yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm afraid to fail. Fear of rejection. I think I'm not good enough. Other people are smarter than me. And it's all very repetitive. So the reason why I want to break this out is because awareness is key. You can only repair what you're aware. So therefore, I think it's very important for us. We have to stop ourselves from sabotaging ourselves, especially right now. Why? If you keep sabotaging yourself, whatever strategy that you do, you will do it half-heartedly. We can give you the best investment strategy, the best sales strategy, the best leadership skills. But if you're like, I don't think I can do it, Lawrence, then you will do it half-heartedly. So you're pulling yourself. That's number 1 called negative belief. Second is called fear. Fear of what? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. Haven't do, already scared. What if cannot? What if cannot? What if cannot? So these are called fear. Number 3 is called procrastination. The number 1 nation in the world. Procrastination. Yes. And number 4 is called a negative experience. done the previous business before, sell before, kena rejected before, they feel very disappointed and sad. So these are the 4 things that are stopping a lot of salespeople from being their absolute best. So that's my answer for you, Lawrence.
This is very good sharing, and I really like the thing about the figures. So sometimes we are very unconsciously feel that we can't do it. So I think this is something that we can learn tonight. Yeah. So we have a question from Farah. I would like to take this question. So Wesley, how to increase sales, especially now when we are in a pandemic where the demands are actually lower? I think this is a very valid question, because you see people are not making money. Some may have even lose their job. So how do we do this?
Wow, this one you asked already. I think 2 hours also cannot finish. Thank you very much, Farah, for the question. And again, if there's anyone of you here, just join in. I would like to thank you for joining. And help us to like and share this post. And also, of course, any questions are bombs away. I don't guarantee I can know all the answers for you, but feel free to drop your questions at the side. Today is Ask Me Anything About Sales. Putting myself in the chopping block, Lawrence. I'm actually nervous. I don't know what questions are going to come in, right? I'm also human.
No problem.
Okay, Farah asked, how do we increase sales, especially now when we're in a pandemic, the demands are lower than usual? First of all, I disagree demands are lower. Because during times of crisis, some demands are low, some demands are created. So if you ask me, the thing is, where is the opportunity now? Where are the opportunities? Okay, I can only tell you based on my biased experience. Okay, so let's illustrate with my example, and then I tell using my coaching clients. So I traditionally run training. I run sales training for companies. So used to do live workshop. So when MCO kicked in, lockdown kicked in, so I obviously cannot do live workshop because cannot meet face to face. Obviously, you're supposed to have lockdown at home. Yet another opportunity is created. People are looking for virtual learning program. People now, as a one-on-one basis, they want to learn how to sell during crisis. So the traditional B2B sales right now has been put on hold. Still there, demand goes low because got no live training. What demand increases? The virtual training increases. Now, a lot of people always like to think, lockdown, cannot crisis, disaster. Now, this mindset must get rid of. We must ask ourselves, instead of looking at what problem that we face, ask ourselves, what opportunities are there in the market? So there are people who are ready to make an investment during crisis. There are people who are ready to invest in training during crisis. You just have to know who these people are. Comes to the next question right now, Farah. I think it's very important. Key number 1 in adapting right now is to go and look for your target market and understand how the market change. Which means talk to people in the ground, reach out to them and say, hey, what problem do you face? What outcome do you want to achieve? What are you currently doing? What do you need help most right now? What's your spending power right now? Check with your target audience and get to know how is their behavior changing. How is the behavior changing? Maybe if they don't purchase an expensive product, can you then break down to them? Maybe they need a longer duration of value. Instead of doing a 2 days, can you do like 2 weeks instead? So ask ourselves on how can we continue innovating. And again, what I learned about learning from Jonathan Quack, which I learned until today, stop being me-focused, stop being product-focused, start being market-focused. Reach out to the market, ask them what they need, what they want right now. You change your product according to them. Farah, with doing that, you'll be able to innovate the way you sell, the way your business is working for you. Now, the next key point I want to share with you is this. So once you understand what the market wants, you tweak your product, you must also understand you must change the way you do sales. Means what? Stop seeing sales as prospect buy or prospect don't buy. Start seeing sales on how I can continuously add value to my customers. Which stage are they right now? Are they a not interested stage? Are they like a neutral stage? Buying stage? Buy later? Or buy now? Different strategy on how we can continuously hit our prospects are very important. Some key points to do: keep adding value to the people that we talk to. Keep providing solution, build a community, do a video, do an ebook, write an article, interview people. So long as we keep in touch with the prospects, we will know how the market is changing. You provide the right solution to them. Now, and again, a lot of salespeople cannot do offline sales right now. We're going to do online sales. Calls can still be done. Videos can still do. Ebooks can still be conducted. Zoom meetings can still be done. We can still sell. So ask ourselves, Farah, where are the opportunities? So that's my answer for you, Lawrence.
That's a very good, that actually opportunity lies everywhere. It's just that sometimes we need to be there to find out exactly how this opportunity or can appear and help and can appear lah. So I think we need to find out, we need to talk to people, we need to understand what are the changes. Thank you so much, Wesley, for the very good answer. But I think this is also something we will take another question from Jana. So actually, Jana asked this. I think this is also a very important question, right? So I think we mentioned so many times about people. You said procrastinating. You said people giving up. So people always say never to give up, in sales, keep the fire, keep the burning desire. But how do we know when actually are we doing it wrong? Of course, when we fail means we don't deliver result. But can you tell us how do we find out between doing it right and actually that, you're still actually doing it wrong? How do we know?
I think first of all, we talk about never give up, right? So what triggered the never give up attitude is actually at the end of the day, your clarity of your goal, knowing what you truly want, knowing your end result. It can be how much money you make, whether what motivates you, is it your family, is it money, is it car, is it house, is it FD investment, is it like passive income? That all depends up to you. There's no one right formula to motivate people, and people always say it's money. I disagree with that. Money is just an amount. What people want is a purpose behind money. Some people want to earn money because they want to travel, give the best for the family, want to earn the first 7-digit income. So it's all maybe pride, satisfaction, love. It all depends, right? So then again, how do we know it's right or wrong when it comes to in sales? I think the most important part is to track our results. So we need to track our results and say, hey, if we keep doing the same thing, but there's no results coming, which means at the end of the day, right? So then you maybe need to go and look for different way to do sales. So, and again, I think the key point is if you do what you've always done, you will get what you've always gotten. So the key point is if you do 10 times, you got no result, okay, go and try 20 times. 20 times the same way, still got no result, come back and knock your head and say, how can I change in order for me to create the first sale? The key is awareness again. It's about being conscious and sensitive. It's about being aware. So that be aware, if I keep doing the same thing, will the result change or not? So I think they say you can only get what you want if you are flexible enough. So therefore, at the end of the day, right, if you keep doing the same thing, don't expect different result. So be objective. If I keep doing the same way, I've got no result, I gotta put down my ego, be humble, knock my head and say, what can I learn? Look for a coach and ask yourself, what can you change? So that's my take for you. Never do the same thing expecting different result. Hope is not a strategy.
I like this. Hope is not a strategy. This is a perfect ending to the question. A perfect answer. So yes, we cannot sit there and hope and pray that something is going to happen. So Wesley, before I take more questions that is coming up here at our comment section, do you have any questions at your own personal page?
Yes, I'm just reviewing at the site right now. So for those of you here, again, Chon Chandi, thank you for joining. Oh, Sing, Wesley, and Lawrence. Vaisa is here as well, by the way, Lawrence.
Who?
Vaisa.
Hi.
Hello, all right. Okay, good. No questions from my end.
Okay, so I will continue to take the next question from Tasmini as well. So she actually asked, is it true that salesperson need to be fluent in English?
No, I don't think so. That's interesting. Okay. I think language. Well, this is a very tricky question. So, may not be. Okay, so you can converse in your own language and all. You can converse in Chinese, in BM, in English. It doesn't matter. Do you need to have a fluent English? I think no. So long as whatever you say, you articulate enough with confidence, with congruence, with clarity. So long as whatever you say people understand, I think it's good enough. Now, I think there's a myth people always say, my English is fluent, therefore I can sell. I totally disagree. You don't have to have perfect English. So long as you're articulative, you have confidence, and you can deliver your point. Now, that is very, very important. And I think the biggest challenge comes in a lot of people, right? They think they're not fluent, hence it's become a self-limiting thought to them. So when they think themselves they're not good enough, and then their confidence will drop, and they think they're not good enough. I think language is important, but it's not everything when it comes to presenting your idea. I have seen very good salespeople who may not have very perfect grammar, but they can sell. They can sell because people get connected with them. People have rapport relationship with them. They can articulate points. They have a sense of confidence. They're trustworthy. They're humble. I think it's not just language that is important. Having said that, It doesn't mean that we broken English that we don't go and change ourselves. We of course must continuously learn, but whatever they have right now is entirely fine. Now, here's my next question, Tas. If you are required to present in a meeting to a board of director and the meeting requires you to speak English, if you are like your English is really can't, right? My recommendation, get somebody who can deliver that. So which means you have to really buck up in the way you speak your English. But else, I think it's fine. Yeah.
I actually agree that there's a fine line over here. Definitely, there are certain times that using the right words and doing a proper presentation is important because you need to bridge your idea to your clients. But of course, you don't need to go very canggih lah, very bombastic English. That when you talk, you are flying. Kind of feel. Yeah, and Tasmini actually have very good. She speak very fluent BM as well. So I think that.
She is.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to also try to enter the Tamil market after this. She is quite multilingual. So thank you so much, Wesley, for the answer.
I want to share one thing. I want to share one
please.
Sorry, I think I gotta tell. My bias experience. Sometimes speaking your mother tongue will help a lot in terms of gaining viewership. Okay, so recently, right, Lawrence, I also have a YouTube channel where recently I just checked back and I just caught my 100 subscribers. So do follow my YouTube, Wesley Chan, right? And so I was scrolling through my YouTube videos that I posted, and there was one particular video that caught my attention. It was a video that, again, I never advertised on YouTube, right? I just put that just to host my videos. So there was one video I searched, right? Got 1,600 views. Okay, don't laugh at me. I mean, just beginner on YouTube, right? 1,600 views. And I was curious, what video is that? Lawrence, guess what? It's a video that I speak in BM.
Oh, yes.
And the video is cara perkenalkan diri anda, 5 langkah memperkenalkan diri anda semasa interview. So I was like, hey, I never blasted any in my video and got 1,600 views. Organic, no ads. Which makes me think of the point. You don't have to only speak English. Sometimes you can speak BM, Mandarin, Hokkien, whatever it is, right? So long as your target audience resonates with that, go ahead. For those of you here, a lot of people ask me, hey, Wesley, should I record my video in Mandarin or English? It depends on your target audience. If you can target even speaking Mandarin, I think it's entirely fine. Go and get out there and test your market, right? So which thing's the point? I think, Lawrence, we can start to speak in BM. So mari kita bercakap bertutur bahasa Melayu. Example lah, I don't know lah.
Boleh. So I think this is a very good example, right? So don't get me started with BM and then I will start with Mandarin as well, huh, Wesley? So I mean, definitely for those who are always on YouTube, please follow Wesley's YouTube. I think he has put up a lot of fantastic video. And also for those who have been following My Printers, please also go to our My Printers School of Life. It is reflected here, My Printers School of Life, our YouTube channel. And in My Printers YouTube channel, we also put up a lot of different types of content. And I agree so much with you, Wesley, because you see, we put up so many different contents and we have them at average of about 1,000 views. And Tasmini actually posted up a video on doing Indian dessert.
Oh, wow.
Indian dessert, something that we never thought of. It's not some not some soup kacang merah or Bali. She put up something on Indian dessert and we actually got about 5,000 views for that. So I think this is something, like you said, never underestimate whatever that we do. And when you put up, there will be people who will be seeing what you have posted. Before we take the next question, I would like to thank again to Lou. Lou has been here for with us. I always see your name in our sessions. Thank you so much for supporting us. We are going to create even better content from weeks to come together with Wesley. All right. So now let's take the next question before, if we talk too much and then we cannot answer the questions, that will defeat the purpose. So I'm going to take this question from Kai Sian.
Yep.
So, Kai Sian, good evening. Hope you are learning as much as you can at this moment. So he actually asked a question. How do we handle objection when the prospect says no money? I think this is a very common excuse. So how do we handle it?
Thank you very much, Kaisen, for the question. So just before that, I want to take a chance to say hi to Miss Puva, saying hi to Wesley and hi to Lawrence as well. My immediate answer, people say got no money, right? Okay, so let's into different part. One is a strategy. So if you keep meeting people, prospect keep saying no money, right? One good indicator, we're in the wrong target market. We're in the wrong target market where maybe they're not ready to afford your product. So therefore, we have to go and check ourselves, reach out to the ground again and say, hey, is whatever I'm offering, the price is suitable for my target market or not? That's at the strategy level. Okay, so whether is it too expensive for them? So that's why your target market is super, super important. Understanding your target market is key so that you do very minimal selling. So you design your product, craft, you fit in for them so they'll be able to understand. Number two is to look at the USP. Now you see, people buy when the value supersedes the cost, which means the value is like this, but they're paying this price. They feel it's worth it. Normally people say, yeah, I got no money lah, because they maybe find that the cost and the value doesn't match. Having said that, what if some people just want to purely just say, I got no money lah? My usual response, for those of you who have been to my sales training before, I love this one word, and it's called, that's exactly why. So what I say is this, right? So Kai-san say, Kai-san, what's the question again? Can I read back and say? Kai-san says, read back again. Kai-san say, how do you handle objection? People say money. No money. I say, that's exactly why. Many people say they got no money as well. So that's exactly why I'm here today. Come on, tell me, what is your budget? Things like that. So again, that's exactly why. Many people say they got no money as well. Come on, tell me, what is your budget you're looking at? So if your product can manage the price, some of you here, you manage your own business, you can manage the price, you can cut your margin a bit. If you want to close the sales, put a bit discount and go for it. That's number one. Number two, you don't want to lower down the price, provide more value, add more items for you. Again, if it's within your negotiation concession, if you want. Now, what if you are in a position that you cannot give discount, where in the fixed price selling, for example, property fixed price, right? Insurance can change, depends on the coverage. Some of you here sell very fixed price product. And again, if they say they got no money, again, it's a very good indicator we are in the wrong target market. And the next thing it says that then how much are you willing to invest? Then you can offer different product. That's what you can do. I would like to think when people say they got no money, target market is very important. Knowing the right target market is super important. Because again, a lot of people think that, wow, once I learn the best objection handling strategy, closing strategy, I can close sales. I used to think like that. Go and take one course, 20 closing skills. After that, can go become super salesman. I realized this is not the case. It is not about your closing skills that for you to close the deal. It's whatever you do before that. Product offering, building rapport, presenting USP, preparing a negotiation. Until a point of time that they got no choice. And they won't ask you, I don't know how, I'm scared, I got no money. Objection will never come because you know the right target market, the right USP, the right negotiation deal for them. So that's my answer for Kai-san. Yeah.
I think this is very important to understand your target group, to actually know what they want. I think this is something that I always tell my team, right? You just don't go there and blur everything out, and then after that, this is not exactly what they want. So people who have been working with me, even my team, they know that I always like to listen to people first, see what are their concerns, what are the things that they want, then only we craft out something for them. I think this is a very good answer, Wesley. Thank you so much. And I would like to also share this thumbs up from Yen. So I also want to share this about Yen, right? I think I've seen Yen in all our sessions. Thank you so much. I've seen the energy in you. I think this is one of the other criteria about salesperson, is that energy. And like you said just now, Wesley, to learn, to continuously learn. I think, Yen, I give you a salute. Even I myself don't spend so much time learning on online. Yeah? So we take this next question with Nadia. I think this is a very interesting question, but I'm not going to answer. This is your session because it's Ask Me Anything about Wesley. So Wesley, what is the biggest deal you have closed and how did you do it? Maybe you do not need to give us the figure. Maybe you can share with us what is the biggest training session that you have done so far, and then how did you do it?
Biggest training means number of people or price?
Well, if you want to show us your audited account, I don't mind. But then, yeah, if it's going to be very private, it's okay. You just share with us what is the biggest number of training session that you have closed so far, and how did you do it?
Wow, seriously, ask me anything on sales. You're really asking anything on sales. You'll make full use of me here today. Okay, let me think back. Biggest training deal in terms of contract value, more than 6 figure. I'm talking about six figure. That's the highest contract I've ever closed. I choose not to disclose. Okay, that's one. Okay, biggest number of people. Biggest number of participants. Let me think of it. Biggest number of participants. I think so far highest number is 2,000. Highest number is 2,001 go. Auditorium style. The most number of repeated training where a company actually hire me to do the same training 10 times, 10 sessions. We just do like two for a period of 3 years. So that's like the longest training. Biggest participant, I think is 2,000 though. 2,000 people. Sales kickoff, 2,000 people. Sales, 2,000 people. Virtual training largest happened recently in Hong Kong. 1,200 people over a virtual session 1 hour. But having said that though, I think don't measure success based on contract value and also number of people, because big, small is still impacting people's life. I sometimes enjoy big crowds. Sometimes I enjoy meeting 5-10 people as well. So I think number of people are just a metric lah. I mean, it sounds nice. You travel 20 countries, you train more than 120,000 people. It all sounds nice. But at the end of the day, are you really making a difference in people's results or not? So, and how did I do it? I'm a person that, okay, just keep continue adding value, just keep meeting people, and just keep offering our service, and just keep moving, just keep targeting. So that's my answer to you.
Yeah, I think that's very important. To just continuously do it, just keep moving and just keep moving and just keep fighting. Thank you so much for that answer. I think this is so important that we never give up. Yeah? So Yen gave you some roses, Wesley. So happy to accept the roses. So I'm sure. Okay. Let's take this next question from Jana. I think this is also a very good question, right? Yeah. So how do you actually motivate your sales team? Thinking that you're a sales leader, so how do you motivate them?
Okay, this question comes in very timely because we got somebody saying hi. Sue Norman say, how do we measure our sales and marketing tool successful? Maybe I can take that question as well. Rash is here. Persistence is key. Hello, Lawrence. Hello, Wesley. Hello, Rash. You are here. Just want to say hi to you. Okay, how do I motivate sales team? I currently, I operate from a very small organization where we have 5 people under our payroll. And I would like to bring you to an experience of a time where I managed up to a sales team of 200 people. I think that one we really get to learn how to manage a sales team. That was probably my first selling experience. I was a distributor like anybody else, doing selling, cold call, hard knocks, you name it, right? Meet people, stranger, take name card, parking ticket, talk to a stranger, you name it, doing knock doors, cold call, referral, you name it. I've done this before. But yet, having said that, I cannot say I've done everything. I'm still learning in a way. So I came into a point where my team grew until like 200-300 distributors. The key to motivating a sales team comes to one answer. It's called system. System that I learned is called FTC, Function Training Coaching. Now it's called Function Training Coaching. The bigger the size your sales team is, it is more important for us to have a system. Now, what is called a system? A system means people will have a proven, they follow ABC, they achieve a certain result. They follow ABC, they can close a deal. So the very good system for us in terms of motivating sales team is called Function Training Coaching. Function means what? Function means what are some regular meetings, function that the team can come together, be it the leader meet the new recruit or the senior sales manager will meet the team, right? So it's like a come together. It can be a monthly thing, right? So why function is so important? Number one, it promotes transparency. Everybody can meet everybody. And number two, it hits the energy. Because when there's more people in the room, people celebrate success, they share your story, they celebrate people closing deal, they mention the next convention, they mention the incentive, the latest product, energy spikes up. Now, I agree with you, Lawrence, that sales is a business of energy. So function, when got people, the interaction, energy goes up. Function alone is not important. Come to the next thing called T. T is called training. Consistent training support that enhances people's personal growth. Personal growth equals to business growth. The more the person build personally, right, the better it is for the business. Now, this is an analogy when you plant a tree. you plant day 1, day 10, day 30, maybe still at the root level. But once you go on the 6 months, suddenly it shoots very high, because personal growth is business growth. Training is when a chance you can continuously learn, weekly sharing, training sessions and all. The third is called coaching. Coaching means the sales leader, the sales manager must meet one-on-one, first with a 20 percenter to make sure the 20 percenter create results. From the 20 percenter, inspire the 80 percenter to create results for the group. So function, training, coaching, in short, this is how to motivate the sales team. Having said that, it's good to motivate sales team, but don't feel bad if people leave the company and they don't close sales. Don't imply a self-bashing mechanism and say, how come my people don't do sales? I'm a very bad leader. People come with different urgency. People come with different commitment. Help people who are ready, and the key is 80-20 rule. Help and work closely with a 20 percenter, they will create 80% results. If you focus on the 80 percenter that give you 20% result, you will end up very frustrated. So the question is, I cannot ignore my 80 percenter. So what do? You put 80 percenter to get inspired in the function, put them inspired in the training. Once they get pumped up, then you can work on them coaching one-on-one. So it's called function, training, coaching. Yep. So that's my answer for you based on my experience.
Yeah, this is very good. Motivation that has a system. I think this is very important to bring through a person into different stages, right? Not just blindly go in and motivate, and then after that they're unsure of what's going on, And then I think a system here plays a very important role. So thank you so much, Wesley, for that answer. So Yen Tan again gave you a compliment. You're a very super humble young coach, I think this is you have a lot of fans over here. So actually, Tasmini had a follow-up question on this. Let's take this question quickly. So what is your opinion when people say salespeople don't have sustainable future?
I totally disagree. I think salespeople have got very sustainable future. What I learned about salespeople is very skillful salespeople. You take their product away, they can sell different products.
Yeah.
I love sales hard to my core, and it was just a conversation I had with my wife, and she's looking at me right at the side, right? Then she's looking at me at the side, right? And so she was actually talking to me and said, "Hey, seems like you like to train sales a lot." I said, "Yeah, because previously when I first started, I trained NLP. I love NLP. Don't get me wrong, right? Just because I decided to pivot now, and I train NLP." So, sorry, I train sales. And I really developed a lot of passion towards salespeople. The reason why, because one thing I love about salespeople, right? If I take your product away from you, you go to other company, you can still sustain one. So, because it's all about salesmanship, it's all about the ability to win people. Salespeople have the ability to take care of people's emotion, connect, convince, and convert. It's about knowing how to deal with people's emotion. So, my coach always tell me, if you're in sales, you're in the people's business. You learn how to deal with people. So therefore, I think Tasmini, in a way, maybe sustainable is in a particular product. Maybe the product is not so good. But having said that, if you know the skill is all the same, it's still the sales cycle, sales conversion is the same. It's a salesmanship that matters. Yeah.
Well, I think this is a very good answer. And I think you said something about as long as you take off the product, they are still able to sell other things. I think this actually, I think a lot of, entrepreneurs, right? Bosses, maybe even people like me, I've done quite a number of things, from F&B into education, and of course now in events, digital. So I think, yes, I agree so much that salesmanship is more important. You have the skills, you put you anywhere, you will survive. I hope, Tash, that Wesley answers your question. There's
sorry,
so many...
If I disagree and I offended you, Tash, I want to apologize first.
No. I think Wesley, this is a very valid question, because you see, a lot of maybe traditional, I think traditional families, maybe sometimes even my family itself last time.
Me too.
It's quite uncertain about what is sales. What do you, if you don't get any commission, so are you like, you're not going to get anything for that month? So it's a very valid and very fluid, environment. People who are doing sales. So I think maybe people who ask these questions, they are just concerned because you don't get to do sales every day. I think this is a very no worries on that question. We'll take this next question from Jana as well. So I think it's already 50 minutes. So I think we need to address the questions faster, because today's session is about asking questions. But before we really continue, I hope that the audience today follow Wesley's YouTube page. What is your YouTube page again? Wesley Chan, is it?
They say Wesley Chan, Wesley Chan. You just like the word Wesley Chan first. Wesley Chan, sales breakthrough coach.
Follow Wesley Chan,
Sales breakthrough coach.
Breakthrough coach.
Okay lah, because recently managed to change. Got more than 100 subscribers, can change name. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I think for all our friends, before I take the next question, please spend your time. Follow Wesley Chan, Sales Breakthrough Coach on YouTube. I personally have actually went in to see some of his videos, and I actually learned a lot from his videos. And for those who actually want to follow us on MyPrintist, please also log on to MyPrintist School of Life on YouTube. Next question, Wesley.
Yep. Right.
What does it take to become a sales leader in the team? What does it take to climb the ladder?
Okay, so thank you very much, Jana, for the question. I want to acknowledge Rash that says very true, focusing on helping salespeople. Thank you very much, Rash. I'm glad it resonates with you. There's a question here. Katia says business requires knowledge to pursue knowledge requires passions. Yes, correct. Sue Norman. Oh, I haven't addressed Sue Norman's question yet though. How to measure sales marketing tool is successful? Well, that's a very tricky question. I think so long as, okay, for example, if let's say if you're investing in a certain marketing software and your purpose is to get leads, if you're not getting leads after some time, which means it's not successful. I think very, very important, which ties back to the question Jana asked. I think us being salespeople, sales leaders, we must have clarity. Clarity means what? We must be able to measure performance. We must be able to measure and track our performance because we can only improve what we measure. So the key is to measure, like how many leads you have, what's your conversion like, how many people you talk to, how long is the sales cycle, 10 proposal you send, how many revert, how many close, how many interested. I think the key is to track down the numbers. Now, tracking numbers is not to find fault. Tracking numbers to ask ourselves what can be improved, what can be changed, because we want to remain agile so we can continuously improve ourselves. So what does it take to be a sales leader in your team? So you got to know your numbers. You got to know your numbers. You got to be able to motivate people. You're going to be able to align your team members who are off track and to be able to coach them back into the right track. You must be able to tell them exactly what to do. Motivation is good. Clarity is even more important. If you're able to give your sales team a sense of clarity, you know what? For you to achieve this tier, you close 20 deals. From the 20 deals, you do 50 appointments. From the 50 appointment, you do 200 calls. So 200 calls there by 20 days, every day, 200 calls every 20 days, every day go do 10 calls. So clarity, breaking up numbers, make it very bite-sized. I think that's the key to managing performance. So in a way, that's how you give people a sense of clarity. Yeah, I can't emphasize enough. It's all about clarity, being clear. And what I noticed, if you are a sales leader yet you are clear, you will also portray a sense of clarity towards people. Yeah.
That's very good answer. And so clarity again is very important for both salesperson and also sales leader, and also to share this with your team members and your colleague. So I hope Jana, you got the answer from Wesley about clarity.
Clarity is not just numbers though. Clarity is also clarity in terms of the vision. Where are they heading as a company, as a product, right? How would that make a difference? What would excite people? What kind of vision they have? Doesn't always have to be the largest, the biggest. Maybe there's a real problem that you have so much passion to help and you give people the sense of fire. I think the vision as a sales leader is super, super important.
Yeah. I think that's very good. So before we take another few more questions before we end the session, so I'd like to tell our audience here tonight. So if you have learned something throughout MyPrintist live interviews from day one until today, please comment yes, so that we know that you have actually learned something, and we know that actually you will continue to want more of this kind of content from MyPrintist. So if you have learned something from day one until today, just comment at the section yes, so that I know that you have actually learned something. This is something that I've not done before, right? So we'll take this next question from Tasmini as well. I think Tasmini is on the way to become a salesperson as well. She's so motivated. What is the most challenging part in doing sales?
All right, so thank you very much for the question. So before I address the question, right, I want to say hi to Shalene. Shalene is here. Shalene, oh, Norazita, all the way from Sabah. Hi, Kak. Apa khabar? Shalene, well, Shalene, I tell you, I gotta salute Shalene's commitment. Shalene actually texted me and said, Wesley, I can't join your Facebook Live tonight. And she's here today, right? Shalene, thank you so much for joining. And we have Ui Po Chin who's here. Thank you very much for joining as well. So we have Katil. Thank you very much for acknowledging that. Okay, question. Most challenging part in sales for me or for generally salespeople?
I think let's do it for generally salespeople.
Fear of rejection. Fear of rejection, because fear of rejection comes from our human ability of wanting to be validated, wanting to be connected, wanting to make people happy. So that's a very innate ability. We want people to like us. We want people to validate us, compliment us and all. So fear of rejection means people reject you and don't buy your product, don't pick up your call, and you go like, I cannot, right? So I think the most challenging part, based on my biased experience doing sales training, is fear of rejection. They're very scared people reject them. They're very scared what if people don't pick up the call. They're very scared they don't hit the numbers. So it's all the fear of being rejected. So I would like to think that will be the toughest part of being in sales. Yeah.
I think not only in sales but also in a lot of other sectors as well, or even entrepreneurs, bosses. They are also afraid. Actually, a lot of people are afraid of the fear of being rejected. Even trying to, propose for a marriage, you also have the fear of rejection. I think this is common in people. So curbing the fear is most important. So I'm just going to take one last question, and this is going to be from me myself.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Because after that we are going to we unfortunately we have to end this very soon, because I think we are going to have some announcements. And Wesley, this is my last question, right? So you have been in training field for many years, right?
Yeah.
So how do you think after this things will be different, and what are some of your advice for our salespeople out there to start doing things different? Because we mentioned so much about business pivoting, right? Business changing their way of doing things. Some may be going for digital. Can you share with us some very little advice about what salespeople can do differently, maybe post this pandemic?
The ability to do both offline and online sales. So some people say, okay, let's turn everything online. I think offline is still relevant. I think the answer is not yet. I think people still need the face-to-face human interaction. People still you go there and pass proposal and all. Let's say hi. People still enjoy that companionship. So I would like to think that the ability to do both offline and online sales. So offline sales is probably what we have been doing. So online sales is probably what we have to build. So online sales and changing business online are two different things. Changing business online means your e-commerce lah, and all these are like turning digital. But a lot of very rare people talk about turning sales digital. Turning sales digital means the ability to sell online using technologies, doing calls, creating ebooks, videos, using social media platforms. And these are all called turning your sales channel digital. Very good examples. Prior to this, I worked with a group of real estate leaders. Traditionally do offline sales, now they can do Zoom call, and they manage to close sales. Traditionally, people from the banking industry, finance industry used to meet clients face-to-face. Now can close over Zoom. Can, right? Traditionally, maybe trainers close people face-to-face, but now can close over Zoom. Can be done. So the ability to do both the offline and online sales is the key. Is the key to pivoting, is the key to adaptability, is the key to being flexible post-COVID. And I can't tell for sure. I can't really tell what's going to happen tomorrow, next week. So far, this is what I think we need to learn, is to be able to be adaptable, for us to be flexible, to do both offline and the online world.
Yeah, I think this is very important, because as things are changing every single day, salespeople need to adapt, need to be flexible, and just need to continue to learn, and just need to continue to see what are the latest trend. I think this is what I have been doing it myself personally. Actually, this afternoon, before I went out for some discussions, I also actually watched a few videos to actually start learning what is going on at the trends outside. So I'm going to take this question as well from Natalie that just came in hot from the oven. So I think she mentioned a little bit about why they reject sometimes past experience. I think she mentioned actually some of the rejections come from bad experience from previous from other companies or other salesperson, right? So I think this again is also a very legit question. I think we mentioned about digitalization yesterday. So a lot of people are not planning to go because due to bad experience. So how do we overcome rejection that is because of bad past experience?
Thank you, Natalie. Natalie just joined. I saw the comments right there. I think Natalie has been here for a few episodes, right?
Yes, I think so. I've seen her. Thank you so much again for joining us. I hope I've actually translated your question correctly. If yes, maybe you can put a thumbs up so I know that I'm asking the right question so that you get the right answer from our Sifu here.
Wait, not Sifu. I'm still learning. Right? Don't dare. I never call myself Sifu. Okay, so while we're waiting for the response from Natalie, I just want to acknowledge what Shalene said. A challenging part of sales is closing sweetly. She said challenging part when your prospect don't pick up your call. Shalene, they don't pick up the call. I cannot drive to the house anyway. Rash asked me any closing scripts for NLP. Wow, Rash, interesting question. Closing don't only happen during closing. Closing happens for the first time when you meet them. So I have, as of now, I can't give you the script because very hard to deliver the script. So I think closing happens throughout the whole journey of sales. Natalie is not responding yet.
Yeah, maybe we can take what I've maybe just translated on her behalf.
Okay, why people stick to the fear of rejection and they've been holding it so long? I totally agree with what you say, Lawrence. Is the negative experience that they have. Okay, so let's track back how it works as human habit, right? Negative experience happen, so therefore you have negative interpretation. You have a negative meaning. You will call it negative meaning, negative interpretation, negative bond towards sales call, towards closing, towards sales, right? So you put a negative label towards sales. And if you track back, a negative label towards sales will somehow cause another thing, cause fear and cause self-limiting doubt, self-limiting belief, which means, I don't think I can do it, I'm not good enough. Last time failed before. So these are the inner dialogues that you have. And if you track back, right, it probably was a previous mistake that you have done plenty of years ago or months ago. And here's my tip for you. Now, one of the things that is very important for us to understand on how to disarm and change this mindset is to first learn to accept ourselves, that we are not stuck with who we are. That's the beautiful fundamental about NLP. Okay, I'm not here to promote NLP, but again, we as human beings must adapt flexibility. We must have growth mindset, and we are always here to grow and change ourselves. We are not stuck with who we are. So therefore, number one, acknowledge that we are always changing. Today and the yesterday, Wesley Chan already changed. Lawrence today and the last week, Lawrence already changed. In some certain behaviors and flexibility already changed. The question is, are we allowing the change for ourselves? If we just keep telling ourselves, I'm always the same, then you'll start with who you are. But if you say, I want to learn things every day, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? So this mindset is called a reframe. It's called, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? Is to turn this meaning into a positive learning experience. And positive thinking is not the first word that you hear for the entire MCO, right? Now, positive thinking is not everything. But when you're positive, you'll always perform much better than being negative. Now, negative emotions are removed when we reframe. We can't destroy negative emotions and we can't repress, we can't suppress. The only way for us to turn negative into positive is called reframe. Means ask ourselves, what did we learn from the experience? Let's say for the past previously, right, people always reject me. But once I learned, I learned that the timing call is different. I learned that my tone can be improved. So when you turn into a positive learning, right, that's how you disarm negative experience, focus on the lesson and not the rejection. Yeah.
Okay, I think this is very, very good answer. So sometimes we just need to re-strategize, re-look into certain things that we may have done right or wrong. I think this aligns with what you have said at the beginning just now. Sometimes we just need to really relook again, reframe and relook again. And then we will definitely find something that, hey, maybe we could have done this better. So thank you so much, Wesley, for the answer. I hope, Natalie, I hope that Wesley have actually answered the question. And you see, when good conversation comes, time flies. You see, we have actually reached our end of the program. It's
Yeah.
already more than one hour. So Wesley, before we end this session, this is the end. This is the final of 3.0, volume
Mm.
3.0.
Yeah.
Maybe do you want to share some of your last word is not the right word, but but what are some last things that you want to share with our audience?
I want to do a confession. I think the volume one on sales and marketing was very advice driven. Volume two was strategy and validation. Volume three is full on strategy. I mean, if you think that planning has always been a bed of roses, I don't think so, Lawrence. I think Lawrence will like, yeah, man, I can agree with that. Some of you ask me and say, hey, Wesley, I see you very often on volume three. What happened, right? Due to unforeseen circumstances. Of course, there are sometimes my show, there are sometimes be honest with you, I come and step in. It really challenges my own comfort level. I have never shared the way I do my sales call on Facebook Live before. My coaching graduates can attest to that. Some of them are watching this right now. I have never shared the way I do my sales call on Facebook Live. It's the very first time for me to do that. The second episode, I've never reviewed how I do my sales pitch before. Value metrics, I've never done that before. It's my very first time on a Facebook Live. I normally do it for my paid coaching clients, which made me learn one lesson. I also need to adapt. I must walk the talk. When I'm up there to deliver, I deliver. When I deliver, I give full value. I don't question about it. I even share you all my scripts, how I design my call, how I disarm resistance. I show you my training slide. It's because I want to believe that things that I share, I really hope that people can benefit. I can't guarantee all the things are helpful for you because I don't sell your product. And I think it's very egoistic for me to say, I can confirm guarantee you. I don't think I can do so. But if we can pick one or two lessons for you to do so, can really tremendously increase your sales. Even if you don't thank me, there's a very huge satisfaction for me. So in a game, through this experience of sales and marketing breakthrough week, because I got more airtime, which is a good thing, I get to know very beautiful and very nice people who actually personally reach out to me. Shout out to people like Yan, shout out to people like Shalene, people like Steven, and got so many more people out there who would personally say hi to me. And I really value this. And that makes me remind back why I started this journey of doing sales. And to be honest with you, I do sales because I believe in people. I do sales training because I believe in helping people who were once like me. I can't say I guarantee I can know how salespeople feel, but I've been there before on how it feels like to only have 80 ringgit in your bank account. I know how it feels like to be chased out from your house because people disagree what you do. I know how it feels when your loved one says that sales is not your industry. I know how it feels when your peers and your schoolmates give you a kind of look when you're a top student of a university and you go and do hardcore sales. I know how it feels like. The one thing I want to salute and to thank salespeople, because no matter what happened, you are there to make a difference. It doesn't matter people say that you're money driven, but you think without salespeople, your product won't be delivered to their audience. Without salespeople, your company's number won't be growing. Without salespeople, your prospects and your customers won't have positive results. We are the enablers. We are the movers to get products moving. If you ask me, the only evergreen industry are salespeople. Because if you have salesmanship, you can always learn to adapt and to sell things. People are constantly in need of salespeople out there. If you ask me, is one profession I highly look up to. Sales is the most lucrative industry, and they are the movers, action takers, and that's the reason why I want to stay back to my core and I want to reach out to the salespeople out there. For those of you here, it's been a very emotional journey for me doing sales and marketing breakthrough week. Never done this before, doing live, sharing my program, being so vulnerable on Facebook Live. And I want to thank all of you here for your continuous support. Without your loves and your thanks and your highs, I wouldn't be who I am today. Yeah, that's my last word.
Wesley, I think this is a mouthful, and I think I've known you for many years. This is the fifth or sixth year that we have known each other, and I've seen that you actually have walked your talk many years back. You have actually shared, you have actually always paid it forward, not only for me, but also for my printers. Again, from the bottom of our heart, thank you so much for sharing all this with us. And for all the salespeople out there, I think Wesley has given you the energy, given you the motivation that you are movers and you are enablers to your companies. Of course, in a company that comprise of a lot of team, it's teamwork. It's definitely teamwork. There's so many other people, but definitely these are the people that will stand at the front line and they will be the one that will go all out, to do something for the company. So thank you so much for all the salespeople tonight. And I think just before we end this session, I think this is one of the longer session. So
Oh wow.
yeah, one of the longer sessions. So I think I just want to say, Tash, say thank you so much for the input. And Wayne actually mentioned love your energy.
Oh,
So I
thank you.
think a lot of people are inspired by definitely what we have done so far, and especially with you, and they actually gain so much knowledge. So Wesley, are you going to do this again? Are you going to, before we do any announcement, do you look forward to do more?
First of all this out there, I got no idea what kind of things that you want to announce. Right? I'm equally lost as you. Right? Don't think I'm always co-hosting. I know what's happening. So repeat your question again.
Do you foresee yourself doing this more?
Oh wow! I love to do this. If you ask me, I love to do this. I'm enjoying myself. To me, one of the things that we were concerned is that do we have enough eyeballs to run? And one of the things that we remember we chatted was doesn't matter if it's 550 or 500. I think I like continue doing this. I love connecting to people. Yeah, the answer is yes. I love doing this.
So definitely, not to worry. I don't really have a lot of announcement, but I think because of I just want to share this final thing before we end the live call. I think since the first interview until Sales and Marketing Breakthrough Week, actually, then if all of you realize in the poster, Wesley and I actually came up with this idea to have our late night shows with Wesley and Lawrence from next week onwards and from weeks to come. So we're gonna definitely continue to do this. We are in the final discussion. We have more people that will come up. Whether are we going to do volume 4.0, please stay tuned to My Printers and My Printers Facebook, and we will definitely announce this very soon. And for those who are actually, maybe Wesley, you want to share the link? There's a link on the Tiny.
Oh, the Tiny. Oh, okay, I've forgotten, right? So let me just swap.
So before we quickly end this session, so for those who still want Wesley's ebook, please log on to this particular link, fill in your details, and Wesley will send his energy through email to you. He will share. He will share his energy. He will share the 14 days action plans for people, and I think CMCO may be extended. So I think people still want to stay at home, be safe, and they can learn from this ebook. So for those, please log on to this link. Just click on it, fill in the details, and Wesley will be in touch. And for others, please continue to follow us on My Printers Facebook, My Printers YouTube, and also our My Printers Yayasan Printers channel, Telegram channel. We will update this on a regular basis. We will definitely continuously do this. So Wesley, so we should tell the audience that we are going to have a date with them on Monday.
All right, yes, and perhaps let me just have a chit chat with all of you here right now. How many of you here that you want to continue seeing our face? Lawrence always says, yeah, people see face growing. But how many of you here that you think that we have been adding value so far, and you wish that we can have volume 4.0? Perhaps just want to get a validation, but don't want to shock Sandeep. How many of you here that you want to see 4.0? Perhaps give a yes, so that we know that perhaps you have been benefiting from this. And Monday, how do you want to do this?
No, we're going to announce it on all our channels, but I just want to tell the audience, stay tuned on Monday. Monday night, we're going to have something different. We're going to announce something that we're going to do for the next coming weeks as CMCO may or may not be ended. So I hope that by tonight, we will going to publicly do a date with you guys. Stay with us on Monday. What time, Wesley?
10:30.
10:30. You right. So to all our audience, stay tuned to My Printers Facebook. We are dating you now for Monday at 10:30 p.m. Stay tuned. We're gonna announce a series of new volumes that we're gonna do, a series of new initiatives that we are also going to launch together with Vision Alliance, with Wesley Chan. Whether are we going to do 4.0, 5.0, and beyond? Join us on Monday at 10:30 p.m. Same on My Printers Facebook. And for me, I wish you all stay safe and see you soon. So signing off, Lawrence and
Wesley Chan from My Printish. Everybody, thank you very much, and I hope to see all of you again Monday, 10:30. To be honest, I'm equally lost like all of you here. Lawrence, like so suspend. I don't even know what's happening. They say, 10:30. All right, so everybody, thank you so much for your time. Obviously, stay safe, stay at home. And yep, we acknowledge a lot of yes, 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 and all Teeny, Yan, Natalie, Tas, Vane over my side, Shavin. Yeah, wow, there's a lot of you. Wow, I'm so touched. I'm really so touched. All right, good. So yep, thank you so much for your time, everybody. Till then, signing off from us, from My Printers. Bye bye, and take care. Bye bye.